Like I guess what I mean. Okay, maybe it's an open.
Well, I just wanted to provide the opportunity for Tectone to, because if he needs one additional friend, he has so many friends, right? That if he just wants one more, that I will be the absolute friend that he wants, because I don't have that many friends. And that's the reason why, is because the friends that I do have, I value and I treat very well. And so if Tectone were to accept my friendship, which I do not have that offer out to anybody, and obviously this would be a very symbiotic relationship. I'm not here denying that. And I would definitely use it to my advantage, not to Tectone's disadvantage and not to my disadvantage, to our advantage. We would both grow together if we became friends. I would no longer talk bad about Tectone. I will say that right now. I will talk bad about Tectone to his face in private, but I will not do it publicly. So it's one way to basically stop me from making videos about Tectone if he becomes my friend. I promise you this, if me and Tectone are friends, you will never hear me say anything bad about Tectone ever again.
Friendship available, like all the trash talk and all the videos.
It's not trash talk, it's constructive criticism. Okay? And a real friend would accept them.
He's made, like,
calling somebody insane, okay, that's not constructive criticism in my opinion. There's a distinction here. There's a difference.
Calling Tectone out and calling him a narcissist and a piece.
He might be a narcissist, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. We had a president recently that was considered a narcissist or had narcissistic tendencies in Donald Trump. You can still be a very successful, very well-adapted person if you're a narcissist. You just have to know the pitfalls of that particular personality trait. And if you can do that, you can also not create all the hostility and the anger and stuff that come along with narcissism, in my opinion. But not everybody thinks that narcissists are bad. They think they're great people. They love them for who they are, for whatever qualities that they can. I'm not one of them. I have a brother who is a narcissist or had narcissistic tendencies, and that aspect of his personality I never got along with, and it's not something that I identify with. That's my own personal trauma. Maybe a little bit of a projection on my thoughts of Tectone. Possibly there could be a bias there, and if I didn't have that experience, maybe I'd be a bit more empathetic and sympathetic, and I should be more empathetic and sympathetic. But because Tectone uses this on his online persona, I just disagree with it entirely.
Piece of shit and a dirtbag, racist, transphobic, and all these things that Tectone is.
All I do know is that he feels like white privilege is under assault, okay? And if I were to take that rhetoric and apply it to all of the other people who feel that way, then yes, the line of dialogue usually indicates some form of phobias or traditional values, closed-minded takes that could be perceived as, yeah, possibly, potentially. It may not involve anything to deal with the LGBTQA plus community. It may have nothing to do with racial inequalities or prejudice or derogatory anything. It could just be, a very traditionalist mindset where, XYZ is the only way to live. And if you don't live that way, I respect that, but I don't agree with that. That's possible. And there could be no hate or malice involved. And I will say this, just to be clear, I do not think there's any malice in Tectone's heart outside of just creating content and drama. Although I do think his actions, regardless of malice, do create a lot of problems.
And then all of a sudden he's willing to sell it all away, like all 38 minutes of criticizing, not including the past videos. He's willing to sell it all.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, I don't think you understand me as a person, nor should you, because I'm an online personality. I'm asking for an open friendship personally. There's a difference between my online persona and my personal persona.
All this like shit talk, all these videos can go away if you be my friend, okay? Like I do have an open friendship. And like if I can like use your clout, if I can wipe your ass with my clout, like dude, like I am totally down to do.
I'm not definitely no. My friendship does obviously draw the line. I do not wipe my friends' asses. even and this is probably not nice to say, and is not even relevant, but let's not even use Tectone. Let's just say I came down with cancer diagnosis, and I was bedridden, and I had nobody else, and my only friend left was Tectone. I wouldn't ask Tectone to wipe my own ass. I wouldn't.
That, and we can be friends, okay? Like, it's not friendship. You're just using somebody for clout.
I would not use him for clout. I would not use him for clout. I'd be his real friend. I would not take advantage of anything. And to be honest, I'll be honest with you. You wouldn't even know if I was friends with Tectone. The only reason that it would even be identified is if I stopped making videos. But then I would just offer some other reason why I'm not making videos. I would offer that as part of my friendship so that nobody would even know that we're friends. Because I wouldn't use that to my advantage at all. All of this other stuff, all this back and forth, of course. Of course I'm going to leverage that. Of course I'm going to. And it's easy because I disagree a lot with Tectone. Doesn't mean that I can't be friends with somebody that I disagree with. Of course I can. I'd actually, in some cases, appreciate disagreement. I do appreciate discourse and debate. I thoroughly enjoy it. To know I can go to my friend's house and get the real fucking facts, the real takes from people. And they can take it and they can dish it and it goes back and forth. And then outside of that, once we've come to a common understanding, we can have a great time and feel comfortable with each other. I think that's fantastic. Instead of always being fake or superficial. Fuck that.
You're just taking somebody, you're trying to bait somebody for clout over and over again by going after him, going after his friends, going after his people, and you try to...
Well, they've had really bad takes, and so I've just pointed them out. If we were friends, I'd just basically provide those personally. You know, let's break this down. Let's talk about why these people think the way they do, and try to come to some understanding of why somebody thinks the way they do. And then once we have a broader perspective, then we can actually talk intelligently, which is what I hopefully do most of the time. It's not happening all the time, admittedly. It's not easy to do because sometimes my emotions do play a part in it. And it's less to do about Tectone causing those emotions and more just about me having, random emotional issues from different subjects in my life, from PTSD or whatever other issues that I've had personally.
To justify it. Like, I went into Blazuka's live streams and he tries to justify it for all these things. Blazuka's not the only one. Like, I've gone into a lot of streamers that don't like Tectone because I'm like, I always like to hear the other side of things, like consider how things are. Like, that's why, like, when politics come into hand, like, I'm always like a centralist, more do not like to get involved, being like raised like a really Christian conservative. I really just don't like to touch all that stuff. But like, the amount of people that you go into their stream and you ask, why do you hate Tectone? Oh, he's a narcissist. Oh, why is he a narcissist? Oh, because. I'm like, what do you mean because? All right, it's so ridiculous.
First of all, I don't say that. I give examples as to why. When I made the video, Tectone is a narcissist, and I improve. There's proof in that video, Karma Kitten. It's not because. Okay? It just isn't. I try not to do the because or why. Because. I try not to do that.